Let's now move on to Nigeria, where a kidnapped Red Cross health worker has been killed. Hawa Liman was among 3 aid workers who were kidnapped by an Islamic State-affiliated group a few months ago. She is the 2nd aid worker in the group to be murdered. The clock is now ticking on the fate of the other worker. The trio were kidnapped following an attack in the Nigerian town of Ran. The group also still has the remaining Dapchi schoolgirl in their custody and have vowed to keep her as a slave for life. Well, for more on this, we are now joined by CGTN's Phil Ihaza in Abuja for us. Phil, President Buhari promised that he would intervene. Have we had any government reaction since reports that Hawa Liman was killed?
Well, Karen, first of all, it's really a sad day for Nigeria. It's a sad day for the world because we've had several reactions as a result of this dastardly act, this occurrence that has happened in Nigeria's northeast, in Borno State precisely. Yes, there's been a reaction, from the government, but it was by the Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Lai Mohammed. He released a statement saying, or condemning the act and describing it as dastardly, ungodly and inhumane. He also expressed some level of shock at the fact that, these terrorists will go all the way to claim the life of, that victim, the aid worker there. There was also, during the National Assembly sitting, earlier on, there was also some moments of minutes silence for the, late aid worker, as well as other reactions from stakeholders, elder statesmen, politicians, and other government officials. There's also protests from pressure groups in the streets of Abuja. It's been really a very sad event, I must say.
And Phil, Hawa Liman is not the first aid worker to die at the hands of Boko Haram. She was, in fact, one of 3 seized by the militants during an attack in March. Give us a brief background of the incident and also what has happened up until now. Well,
it all started in the month of March, where a an attack occurred in a remote town known as Ran in Borno State, where thousands of IDPs are situated, and some aid workers, international aid workers, were there to carry out relief functions for these displaced persons. There was an attack there. Quite a number of security officials were killed. Some other aid workers were also killed, but 3 female workers were abducted, and that's in the person of Alice Loksha, who works for the United Nations Children's Agency, or UNICEF, and then 2 others, that's Saifaru Kosha and Hawa Liman, who has just been killed. Now, no news was heard, about the whereabouts till last month, where a video was released where Saifaru Kosha was killed in a very gruesome way by a faction of Boko Haram sect, the insurgents in the northeast, led by Abernawi. That's the ones that have pledged allegiance to ISIS, the Islamic, they call themselves the Islamic State of West Africa Province, ISWAP. And they released a statement in that video also saying that there was an ultimatum given to the next Red Cross worker, that's Hawa Liman, for a month, which has just elapsed, and possibly that's the reason why they also took her life. Although the government said that negotiations have been opened all this while to do everything reasonably possible for the government, the country, and the family of Liman, but then it was also a sad thing. And then they also extended a warning, after killing Liman, that the 3rd aid worker, that's Alice Loksha, who works for the UNICEF, and an abducted Leah Sharubu, that's one of the Dapchi schoolgirls, that both of them would remain in their custody as slaves indefinitely. And we're hoping that the Nigerian government will do as much as possible to ensure that this doesn't repeat itself and they regain their freedom.
Okay, thank you for that update. That was CGTN's Phil Ihaza there for us in Abuja.